People's Congress Party, UPC, has submitted over 29,000 signatures from 118 districts to the Electoral Commission endorsing their party presidential flag bearer, Jimmy James Akena, for the forthcoming general elections of 2026. Also, the leadership of FDC has advised candidates carrying their flag for positions of municipal and city division chairpersons and councillors to nominate early and avoid last-minute rushes. The FDC Deputy Secretary for Publicity in charge of documentation and publication, Mulindwa Walidi, says that the concluded nominations of mayors had many candidates disqualified over technicalities and Electoral Commission logistical challenges. But also former Kawempe North MP Alhaji Sebagala, Latif Sebagala, officially was announced his candidacy for the Kawempe Division mayoral seat as an independent. Good morning. With that update, allow me also give you an update of the fact that a little later on the show, we shall be looking at how to secure a non-violent election come 2026. But for now, welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and I am giving many thanks to Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono and Jethro Kasaije for holding forth the past week. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you, Julie. Welcome back.
Thank you. So good to see you.
Definitely. We've been here trying to ensure that we let Ugandans know of what is happening globally and internationally. I don't know if you participated in viewing of the moon.
Well, one thing I purposed to do was to rest.
Rest.
I focused on that. And I'm glad I did.
And you look fresh, by the way, and energized.
Glory to God.
This time, I can't say it's any energy drink. Yeah. It is the energy in you.
Thank you.
The Christ in you. So thank you very much, otherwise, for waking up with us. Welcome to your morning show where we make sure you're well versed with what is happening locally and internationally. Now, yesterday, we had quite a lot of news coming in. I'll begin on the political scene.
Right.
Now, for the National Unity Platform, well, all is not that very sweet there because the deputy spokesperson, Alex Mufumbira, was arrested as he had gone to court to follow the case of Bobby Giant, then the likes of Eddie Mutwe and Achireu. Now, it is said that after there, he was arrested and driven to, that is Wandegea Police Station. From Wandegea Police Station, it is said he was taken to his home where security operatives conducted a search. And according to the aspirant mayor for Kampala, Balimwezo, who said to have been with him, engineer Arad Balimwezo, said that they waited for him, plus his father and the brother also, at Wandegea Police Station, where they suspected that he would be returned. But by the time they left, he had not yet been returned, and they believe he was whisked to a known place. But good, he's in police hands. Police has not denied, and we believe anytime he will be paraded in court to answer certain charges. But as we know, according to the army spokesperson, Felix Kulaije, he said many of these are being arrested regarding the parade they conducted at the NUP headquarters. If you remember the old dressed in red and they had whatever, and they looked more like, would we call it a group? They were doing military drills.
Yes, and it was a birthday present.
Just that they weren't armed. And according to the army, they say, well, there's a section of the law that they bleached, and now they are facing the wrath of the law. But also, away from that, moving to NRM, well, Dr. Tango Doi's son, that is Collins Tanga, who had won the National Youth Chairperson for NRM flag bearer. Now, according to the NRM Electoral Disputes Tribunal, his victory was nullified, cancelled, and they will announce which day they have fresh elections. But also those elections, for transparency, will not be presided over by Dr. Tango Doi. Now, that is from that side. Matching the East contestants all gathered yesterday and held a press conference. Many of these belong to the National Unity Platform, and warned the now mayor of Machindi, that is Alhaji Ali Mulyanyama, that please, we were told you're going for Machindi West. Do not tamper to change guards and come this side. We are here. These issues of first saying, you know, there's something that has happened in National Unity Platform where someone maybe was standing for, had shown interest for a MP seat, Member of Parliament.
Right.
Now that person is shifted. Tell him, now for you don't go for MP, go for mayor race. I think this one would be here. Now you don't go for this position, go for this position. And they will tell you they sat and discussed, which is okay in one way or the other. Because, I mean, a party wants to win more seats. If they see that your strength will be more felt here, we saw it in Nansana, will be more felt here, then let it be so. And if they believe this person is stronger, then instead of both of you going and dividing the vote, it is said that they sit these candidates or they dictate whatever the situation is. I'm not a member of the party, neither on the top committee, so I don't, but according to those that have been in this race. Some, of course, you can't know if that's the truth, or most of when someone is hit on the head, that is being denied a ticket.
All right.
So, these men held a press conference and said, we hear it rooming that this person is being told to cross over this side, but let him not dare come.
Interesting events happening on the scene of politics, and clearly it's the conversation that we have on our lips until the swearing-in ceremonies next year of all of those.
But away from politics, I'm just wondering, where do Ugandans get money?
Okay, what are you referring to?
There is a vehicle I'm seeing.
Or the Tesla, the Cybertruck.
Yes,
Tesla.
I'm seeing. And I tried to Google how much this costs. Now, plus, if you pay tax here, because, you know, cars are not that very expensive. But when you import a car and it comes into Uganda, the monies that you pay, taxation, you can buy a car, say, 12 million. Now, when it lands here, going through the taxation process, it may end in 24.
That's true.
So now I'm just asking myself, the person who bought this Tesla, if it goes through URA, that clearance, already it is expensive. Now, how much are you going to pay in taxation? However, I've not yet seen it. I've seen it cruise from the airport, that lane, but it doesn't have number plates.
Yes, but
so I'm wondering, with the digital number plates we have, it is very common that by the time a car enters this country, it can't leave without getting a number plate. Now, I don't know if it's in transit, if it is. I'm tempted to investigate out of curiosity.
Investigations indeed must be done out of curiosity. I do agree with you. But I'll just land that with the comment that was on that particular post that I saw the same post from. And it read that in Uganda, you broke alone.
Definitely.
Anyways, let's have a look at what we have on the local scene.
Well, we begin with Uganda having hosted the 63rd annual session of the Asian Africa Legal Consultant Organization, AALCO, the session that has brought together legal and diplomatic delegations from over 47 member states, along with representatives from the international organization and legal experts from Asia and Africa. While opening the session, President Yoweri Museveni applauded the AALCO for its efforts towards keeping a significant presence at the international scene. President Museveni emphasized tackling issues of climate and border conflict between members, which is in turn affecting the relationship between and development within member states. Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, said the conference will address legal issues affecting member states in terms of relationship and development through international law. Attorney General Chiriowa Kiwanuka said the key topics to be tackled in the session will include legal issues. In attendance was the outgoing president of the association. The 63rd annual session of Asian Africa Legal Consultants Organization will run for 5 days. This is the second time Uganda is hosting the annual session for the Asia-Africa Legal Consultant Organization, AALCO. The first was in 1993. Moving on, the Health Service Commission has praised the progress made at Chirudu National Referral Hospital, but also sounded an alarm over the critical shortage of specialized staff. The commissioners who arrived at the hospital toured key departments, including the country's largest dialysis unit, the intensive care unit, and the accredited national laboratory. The dialysis unit runs nearly 30 machines and handling about 60 sessions daily, a big contribution to the health sector. The Commission noted that while modern equipment is available, service delivery is being slowed down by human resource gaps. The team also commended the hospital's achievements, such as oxygen plant, 24-hour solar power coverage, and strong partnerships with the Ministry of Health. Moving on, the Electoral Commission spokesperson Julius Musinguzi has urged aspiring candidates to strictly follow the nomination guidelines as the process continues across the country. While addressing journalists in Kabale, Musinguzi reminded flag bearers that holding a party ticket does not automatically make one a member of parliament or a councillor until the Electoral Commission officially nominates them. He also cautioned against the use of fake national identification numbers, that is NIN, noting that some individuals attempt to use non-existent details during the process. Musinguzi further emphasized that after nominations, the candidates are not allowed to immediately begin campaigns until the Electoral Commission issues the campaign's program. And finally, on the local scene, medical teams in Kisoro district have reported an upsurge in a number of infections, with at least 3 confirmed cases treated at Muramba Health Care Center 3, while patients presented with fly liver emerging beneath the skin. With some residents are responding to antibiotics, health workers said, but they fear more cases remain unreported, either due to stigma or traditional remedies are being used. Experts link the outbreak to unsafe practices such as an open defecating, walking barefoot, sleeping on bare floor, and wearing damp clothes. One affected woman described a painful swelling on her thigh that later burst, releasing pus and live river. Memories that echo past outbreaks in the 1990s and early 2000s. District Health Assistant Officer Nick Muneza explained that flies deposit eggs on soil, clothing, or beddings, which then hatch and penetrate human skin. He urged residents to dry and iron clothes, cover all wounds, and maintain strict household hygiene. Despite intensified health campaigns, sanitation challenges persist in Murambu Health. In Murambu, the health inspector Adonia Anebaire revealed that political interference undermines efforts of hygiene bylaws, which some elders reluctantly are not taking serious, and households are neglecting proper sanitation. Well, that brings us to the end of our local stories. Let's look at what Julie has on the international scene.
Right, indeed, that story, it's sad, but I think the fact that you talked about ironing, most people dodge ironing, but most people, ironing is hard. And if you had all reasons of not to iron, perhaps this should convince you.
And you see, most of the diseases that affect people, mostly in rural areas, are preventable diseases as a result of poor hygiene. Now, when you talk about this particular one, is it what we call a bizimba? You know, some of these diseases are a result of you not being very, very basic hygiene.
Hygienically aware.
You know, you put on a cloth that is still wet.
Right. I look forward to having a health expert to elaborate more on how the government or politics goes hand in hand with personal hygiene. Sometimes it defeats the understanding of the mind, but perhaps if it's elaborated from a health expert or someone who actually is in the dire situation, it could bring some light of understanding. But let's have a look at what we have on the foreign scene. We're starting off with the Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa summit. And Russian President Vladimir Putin took part in an extraordinary online BRICS summit on Monday, convened at the initiative of Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. And according to the Kremlin, the association's members discussed cooperation in trade and economy, finance, investment and other sectors amid the current global economic landscape. The BRICS group was formed by Brazil, Russia, India and China in 2006, with South Africa joining 4 years later. It has since expanded further and now surpasses the G7 in combined GDP. Interesting. Now, moving on, let's look at Israeli residents that were seen running away in horror as assailants opened fire at Jerusalem's Ramot intersection, killing at least 6 people and leaving 12 others injured on Monday. Dashcam footage shows people abandoning their vehicles, running away and screaming as the sounds of gunshots echoed through the area. Israeli police later announced that they had eliminated 2 people who carried out the shooting. The suspects reportedly started shooting passengers after boarding a bus. Hamas praised the shooting as a heroic operation carried out by the 2 Palestinian resistance fighters, calling it a natural response to Israeli crimes and genocide. The entrances to Jerusalem have been temporarily closed. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir visited the scene after the shooting. Netanyahu vowed to hunt down everyone involved in the attack and said that the tougher security measures would be taken. Meanwhile, Ben-Gvir urged Israelis to carry weapons everywhere. The Israeli army announced that it had deployed 4 battalions to the scene and reinforced its forces in the West Bank to prevent further attacks. Imagine your leader telling you to carry weapons everywhere you go on you.
There you know that you're in a state of anarchy.
True.
Or a failed state as well. Because your security is not guaranteed by the state,
but by you. Let's come to the motherland. African leaders are aiming to offer a global model for tackling the climate crisis through green investments. They said on Monday after the United States withdrawal from the Paris Climate Agreement deflated the fight against climate change. The continent, which has been buffeted by landslides, floods and droughts this year, is holding its second climate summit in Ethiopia, seeking a common voice ahead of global climate talks in Brazil at the COP30 summit. We're not here to negotiate our survival. We are here to design the world's next climate economy, Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed told the opening ceremony. Leaders have been positioning the 54-nation continent as ripe for investment in carbon capture, renewable energy, critical minerals for green technology and food production to keep development on track amid the climate crisis. If we make the right choices now, Africa can be the first continent to industrialize without destroying its ecosystems, said Abiy, who wants his country to host COP32 in 2027.
I love the way they scare. We are not here because Africa hasn't got so much from COP. Even when you talked about the loss and damage fund that our African representatives went for, still we didn't secure a very good deal.
Right.
Yes. Actually, the last COP, it was all about oil countries and those that are pushing for the end of oil exploration. But Africa, we always go there. We have so much we say, but at time of implementation and getting what we want as Africa, those countries destroy the environment, the West, more than we do. We are paying for their sins. But at the end of the day, every day we try to strike. We are either getting peanuts or not respected that much.
Sad So what a sad conclusion. Let's have a look at what we have in the dailies today.
Well, in the new vision, Museveni assures arts teachers of pay rise.
Interesting. When is this happening?
Well, details in the new vision. And here we have a scramble for 1,090 urban post starts. Then Ugandan cleric installed as bishop in the USA. Oh, that is good.
Right.
As the Church of Uganda continues to threaten that we will not be part of something. If for you, you're in for gay rights and everything, for us, we will follow the path of Jesus Christ. Now, army officer found dead in hotel. And in health, patient's file is missing at hospital. I thought this only happens in courts and police.
I know, right?
Where we are police, the file is missing in court, is missing at the registrar and
Perhaps
police as well.
The files are connected, are linked to a court case.
Well, who knows?
Who knows?
The vision has details of that. Now, let me abstinency, a crown for teens. Julie, this reminds me of our days, the ABC. I don't know how far it worked.
Oh, Grovimo.
ABC, ABC, it was the song. But I want to tell you, very few managed the A. But it's a crown for teens, so if you're a teen, please abstain. Now I'll quickly move to the Daily Monitor. This morning, no longer at ease for Noop. Now when you see the 6 that were in the dock yesterday, there's a picture there, many national unity platform. Things are not very easy. Also, if you're at that parade, where we saw, it seems things are not easy when they save those that we've arrested so far and others still at large. Now, over 2 million people to get new HIV prevention drug. HIV prevention drug. When you have it, you don't contract HIV. I can see smiles all over the viewer. It's free to, you're free to laugh. Science is making things easy, but that doesn't guarantee you to live a reckless life. Now, the push and pull among sub-regions on return to party politics. Still up in the Daily Monitor from Gulu, 1964 to Kololo, 2025. How Uganda's political parties always eat themselves. Let me end at that. I won't read the lizard this morning.
Right, let me quickly take a look at what we have in the Citizen, and we're starting off with the headline there. Alarm over scams as digital trade expands. That is in the Citizen, but also High Court verdict in Pina case now set for Thursday. And clean cooking, an interview there, how AECF's 9.75 billion shillings boost in powering clean energy. Shift also just below is the DAR property investors' eye profits amid Airbnb boom, and CRDB Bank eyes Dubai after system upgrade. Now, flying to Kenya, in the Daily Nation, 1 million state workers gobble up half of taxes. Violation government agencies and counties routinely break statutory ceilings on pay. And anyways, county employees go without salaries, and Ruto invites hundreds of tutors to State House for talks on CBE. Also orders put on ice, e-procurement, protest victims team. And in there still is a story on the headline, 1 billion state workers gobble up half of taxes. Now quickly, let's look at what we have in the Gazette as of 5th September 2025. Table of contents there. But in there, rushing down to the Commissioners for Oaths Advocates Act Commission notice that a bit known that on the 5th day of August 2025, Kwizera Ali, an advocate of the High Court, has been appointed to be a Commissioner for Oaths under the above-mentioned Act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, given under the hand of Alphonse Chigamoye Owinyi-Dolo, the Chief Justice, on the 5th day of August 2025. And the other notice to take note of is one of Magisa Colin, be it known that on the 5th day of August 2025, He is an advocate of the High Court and has been appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the mentioned act for so long as he continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked. Also under the hand of Alphonse Chigamoy Owini Dolo, the Chief Justice. And also be it known that on the 2nd day of September 2022, Apio Rebecca, an advocate of the High Court, was appointed to be a commissioner for oaths under the above mentioned act for so long as she continues to practice as such advocate, and the commission is not revoked, still under the hand of Alphonse Chigamoy Owini Dolo, the Chief Justice, as of the 2nd day of September 2022. That wraps it up for what we have in the dailies. Allow us to take a short break as you enjoy some music. Good morning, Uganda does continue. Good morning, Uganda. Feels so good to be back here on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda. Thank you so much for always choosing to watch the show and to watch UBC TV. Now, Uganda People's Congress Party, UPC, has submitted over 29,000 signatures from 118 districts to the Electoral Commission, endorsing their party presidential flag bearer, Jimmy James Akena, for the forthcoming general elections of 2026. Also, the leadership of FDC has advised candidates carrying their flag for positions of municipal and city division chairpersons and councillors to nominate early and avoid last-minute rushes. The FDC Deputy Secretary for Publicity in charge of documentation and publication, Mulindwa Walidi, says that the concluded nominations of mayors had many candidates disqualified over technicalities and Electoral Commission logistical challenges. But also former Kawempe North MP Alhaji Sebagala, Latif Sebagala, officially was announced his candidacy for the Kawempe Division mayoral seat as an independent. Good morning. With that update, allow me also give you an update of the fact that a little later on the show, we shall be looking at how to secure a non-violent election come 2026. But for now, welcome to the show. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and I am giving many thanks to Robert Chirabo Nyonyitono and Jethro Kasaije for holding forth the past week. Good morning, Robert.
A lovely morning to you, Judy. Welcome back.
Thank you. So good to see you.
Definitely. We've been here trying to ensure that we let Ugandans know of what is happening globally and internationally. I don't know if you participated in viewing of the moon.
Well, one thing I purposed to do was to rest.
Rest.
I focused on that. And I'm glad I did.
And you look fresh, by the way, and energized.
Glory to God.
This time, I can't say it's any energy drink. Yeah. It is the energy in you. Thank you, the Christ in you. So thank you very much, otherwise, for waking up with us. Welcome to your morning show where we make sure you're well versed with what is happening locally and internationally. And now, yesterday, we had quite a lot of news coming in. I'll begin on the political scene.
Right.
Now, for the National Unity Platform, well, all is not that very sweet there because the deputy spokesperson, Alex Mufumbira, was arrested as he had gone to court to follow the case of Bobby Giant, then the likes of Eddie Mutwe and Achireo. Now, it is said that after there, he was arrested and driven to, that is Wandegea Police Station. From Wandegea Police Station, it is said he was taken to his home where security operatives conducted a search. And according to the aspirant mayor for Kampala, Balimwezo, who said to have been with him, engineer Arad Balimwezo, said that they waited for him, plus his father and the brother also, at Wandegea Police Station, where they suspected that he would be returned. But by the time they left, he had not yet been returned, and they believe he was whisked to a unknown place. But good, he's in police hands. Police has not denied, and we believe anytime he will be paraded in court to answer certain charges. But as we know, according to the army spokesperson, Felix Kulaije, he said many of these are being arrested regarding the parade they conducted at the NUP headquarters. If you remember, the all dressed in red and they had whatever, and they looked more like, would we call it a group? They were doing military drills.
Yes, and it was a birthday present.
Just that they weren't armed. And according to the army, they say, well, there's a section of the law that they bleached, and now they are facing the wrath of the law. But also, away from that, moving to NRM, well, Dr. Tango Doi's son, that is Collins Tanga, who had won the National Youth Chairperson for NRM flag bearer. Now, according to the NRM Electoral Disputes Tribunal, his victory was nullified, cancelled, and they will announce which day they have fresh elections. But also those elections, for transparency, will not be presided over by Dr. Tango Doi. Now, that is from that side. Matching the East contestants all gathered yesterday and held a press conference. Many of these belong to the National Unity Platform, and warned the now mayor of Machindi, that is Alhaji Ali Muryanyama, that please, we were told you're going for Machindi West. Do not tamper to change guards and come this side. We are here. These issues of first saying, there's something that has happened in National Unity Platform where someone maybe was standing for, had shown interest for a MP seat, Member of Parliament.
Right.
Now that person is shifted. Tell him, now for you don't go for MP, go for mayor race. I think this one would be here. Now you don't go for this position, go for this position. And they will tell you they sat and discussed, which is okay in one way or the other. Because, a party wants to win more seats. If they say that your strength will be more felt here, we saw it in Nansana, it will be more felt here, then let it be so. And if they believe this person is stronger, then instead of both of you going and dividing the vote, it is said that they sit these candidates, or they dictate whatever the situation is. I'm not a member of the party, neither on the top committee, so I don't, but according to those that have been in this race, some, of course you can't know if that's the truth, or most of when someone is hit on the head, that is being denied a ticket.
All right.
So, these men held a press conference and said, we hear it rooming that this person is being told to cross over this side, but let him not dare come.
Interesting events happening on the scene of politics and
Uganda. The prosecution, the defense, and the lawyers for the victims will deliver oral submissions before the judges to present their arguments on the merits of the case. Proceedings will be broadcast each day live on this channel from September 9th to the 11th, starting at 11 a.m. Kampala time.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Residents of Umpala Cell, Katavi. Of Umpala Cell, Katavi Town Council, Wakiso District are in shock after fire gutted one of the residents' house, killing 3 children who were allegedly locked in the house by their mother. According to residents and eyewitnesses, fire broke out at around 1 a.m. and upon realizing the incident, the LC1 chairperson reported to police, which responded with fire rescue services.
And we want to send a message to the parents that the holidays have come. Let us question our children and the use of candles, the use of gas in the houses. And still, if we are used to going out as a here and there, so it's time I think we should also start Mr. C.
Mama sawa musanvu sawa ttaano oli bweru abaana bali mu nju masannyalaze gagenza omwana akumye kando yakooye tulo tumututte kyekidda ng'abazadde ababiri bafunye eddibu ly'amaanyi nnyo ate nga be baana be badde balina bokka mu nsi.
The deceased have been identified as Namiru Ella, 12 years old, Amani Namlema, 5 years old, and a 3-year-old Namuju Tamale, all children of Lennon Kavuma and Nalubwama Julie.
Bazukulu bange nagiemu mirambo babiri. Omulala yanemeseza nga omuliro mungi. Yabadde mu kisenge gye yaddukidde.
Beba nanga abazadde mulekerawo okuleka abaana bokka mu mayumba naddala nga balekedde oba kando nga amasannyalaze tegaliiko.
According to Kampala Metropolitan Deputy Police Spokesperson Luke Owesejire, preliminary findings indicate that the mother of the victims, Nalubwama Julie, had left them unattended while the father, Kavuma Lennon, was away in Jinja for work.
2 bodies were recovered outside the burnt house, while the third was found inside burnt beyond recognition. The scene was documented, witness statements were recorded, bodies conveyed to Stemachari Mulago for post-mortem. Investigations are on to ascertain the exact cause of this fire.
The bodies, upon retrieval, were taken to Mulago mortuary for post-mortem. By press time, family, relatives and friends were in burial preparations. This is not the first time fires killed unattended children in houses in Entebbe municipality. On 14th May 2024, fire engulfed the residence of Bakita Ayang in Namulanda along Entebbe Road, killing 6 young lives. Silaka Gugbe compiled this report.
Sad story indeed. It occurred 3 weeks ago, and that was lives lost in a fire outbreak. But anyways, before we even get swamped away by such sad occurrences, good morning to you if you've just joined us. This is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV. We come to you live from Nile Avenue. My name is Julie Nantaba Mosisi, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono. And another story still in regards to fires. This took place yesterday, as recent as yesterday. Police pickup trucks survived fire at Antinda Garage, as several police pickup trucks survived destruction after fire gutted a garage where they had been taken to fix seats. And in a telephone interview yesterday, Mr. Patrick Onyango, the Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson, said that the cause of the fire that gutted Ifort Auto Garage and destroyed several vehicles had not been established. But one thing for sure is property was destroyed. Fortunately, though, no life was lost. But let's look at the police report 2024 in regards to fires, that is arson. A total of 1,604 cases of arson were reported to the police countrywide in the year 2024. And this was compared to a total of 1,792 cases that were reported in 2023, thus giving a 10% decrease in the fires. That is between the years 2023 to 2024. What shall 2025 carry as a report we await and see. Hopefully it will stop at this, but how? Now let's look at fire outbreaks in Uganda. Their causes. What are we doing to help ourselves? What are we doing to reduce the impact and the causes and these fires that keep on taking place? Early on in the year, there was one at a hotel along Rashid Kamisi that was so bad it really made rounds on social media. Different reports, different news angles taken from that particular one, but all caused because of a fire outbreak. Be a part of the show. 0709602592. Robert, what are the causes of these never-ending stories?
Well, there are quite a number of causes, and Julie, I'm afraid school is going to commence this weekend. Some children are reporting back to school.
Some have already reported.
Yes. But I'm not a prophet of doom, and I cancel this in the mighty name of Jesus as a Christian, but we're going to register a school fire.
There was one I watched, I forget the school, but I watched a story over this weekend of a school that had a fire outbreak.
I always ask myself, why during holidays don't we get these fires? When children report back to school is when we get fires. But I pray over my country that the mighty hand of the Lord will move and will not register any of these fires.
Right.
Now, you asked for the causes. The causes are quite many. I'll begin with the leading, which is arson. Now, a number of, like you said in the police report, arson means this fire was deliberately planned and lit by a person. Now, when it comes to schools and property where people usually burn these, of course, it's out of revenge, it's out of unfair treatment. We've seen students who are expelled, then they came back and lit the school. We've seen land issues, you know. We've seen poor management. You know, in the private sector where a school, someone can hire and fire at their own will.
Right.
Now someone has worked, they're demanding for salary, someone's not willing to pay them, and they have no ability to take them to court. We've seen, though we've not yet had the reason, if you remember the Salama School for the Deaf, where these young girls were set ablaze. But when you follow, though we've not had a conclusive police report, you hear there were wrangles between Francis Kinubi, how he came up. Some believe they were supposed to benefit, they didn't benefit. Some, you know, arson, that someone has a reason, justified or not justified. But whatever it is, setting ablaze, it shouldn't be the reason. So that's why we have arson. And arson, more so in schools, it is leading. The other is electricity. Now, Ugandans will have shortcuts. I want to tell you there are so many businesses that are having illegal connections, Julie.
True.
Very many people. There you connect our houses, we do not use professionals. We say they are expensive. So we go for anybody who knows how to move wires. Now, illegal connections and also poor wiring, where you're supposed to use this gauge of the wire because it's able to move that current. You use anything that looks like, not forgetting, of course, fake products on market, that they are not genuine, yet you're using them to wire to connect your house. Now, electricity. Third, we have what we call unattended to fire sources, like what we saw in Entebbe. You leave children, there is a candle. There is a source that you've not attended to. Now, as the candle zone drips, then fire gets a piece of cloth, the table, the children are sleeping. By the time they wake up to make an alarm or someone sees, it is already too late. But also, we've had another incident of unattended to sources where in most of these, what do I call them, downtown. Now, they usually have restaurants. I don't want to call them restaurants, but places where they eat. Toninyiras. So, you know, now women that work there, you will see like what happened in Ndeba. Here there is a charcoal stove. So because these people have to cook beans and you are lady, I'm told beans take long.
They do.
So what they do, as they are leaving, they are done with work, they leave beans on a charcoal stove. So that by the time they come in the morning, these beans have reached some extent, so they are just going to do some flying and serve their clients. Sigiris have done so much. Wherever you see these, like Boaise, Ndeva, where there is these things of trade of either a garage or these timber dealers. Most are those women that cook in there, those spaces that cook in there. The last cause I could say is rodents. Now, Ugandans, and when I was speaking to this firefighter, I also first took it laughable.
Right.
He said, you build your house and sleep in that house for the next 30 years. You do not have anyone to move through and see how you connect, how your wires, if they are still able to. But day in, day out, there are rodents, rats and missing. Then they're seeing you poison some now. These things are good at eating these wires. Now, those that understand electricity, there is where a negative will hit a negative. You know, these wires are insulated.
Right.
Now, these rodents come and eat the insulations, the insulators. Now they come together, they spark, they cause a fire. So it's recommended that once in a while, maybe after 5 years, after 3 years, get a technician to go back. Now that is the Antinda fire. To go back and look at your wires, your electricity connection. Most of when you have those tenants that never pay rent.
Right.
The rodents that regularly, you hear them in your ceiling, and you're like, rats have come again.
Interesting.
These destroy. So those are some of the causes.
Now, when you actually talk about causes, I believe there are also those underlying causes like poor urban, poor infrastructure and urban planning, where things like these are not planned for as buildings and structures are being put up. But also looking at the weak enforcement of safety measures right from the start, that just in case, what is the use of an exit door? How do you use a fire extinguisher? How is it a must for everyone to have an exit door? Who cares anyway if someone has it or not? And also the lack of safety awareness, you know, campaigns for citizens, to the public, as to how best they should respond to issues like this, but also for other countries. Haven't seen it yet in Uganda, but climate issues, dry spells that cause.
Now here we don't have bushfires.
We haven't
wildfires,
had any, yes.
where actually they only happen in some places where there are papyruses.
Right.
And the good thing is these are wetlands, so even when they occur,
there's water to
so
save the situation.
Yes, they don't.
But let's quickly look at the rescue efforts, because one, the fact that people don't even know how to respond to situations like this. But let's quickly look at what rescue efforts are available and what needs to be done.
First, we must understand that for us as Ugandans, we never prepare for these uncertainties.
Right.
Usually a person can have a business of a business worth billions of money, but is not insured that business. We are talking of schools today. You can have a very good school. Let me quote why I went to school, and I know my director will not get offended. St. Mary's Chitende.
Right.
A very massive investment. I'm not saying it is, but someone may not insure that school. There's not under any, I'm just saying as an example, not to say, under anything that the school is insured, then in case of any certainty, you know, a fire outbreak, it is very easy for the school, for the insurance cover to take over.
Right.
So Ugandans, if we don't insure our businesses, you find someone, a car dealer. Now those vehicles that were burned at Effort Garage, you'll find that the vehicles are not insured, maybe in terms of comprehensive. The owner of that garage has no insurance cover that in case of any uncertainty. Go to these shops in Chikubo. Go to all businesses. Ask, where do you see a fire? A person says, well, now I don't know what next, but let me contact my insurer and see how we are going to move ahead. So we do not prioritize issues of these uncertainties or disasters. That is one. Now, because we do not prioritize that, we do not prepare for anything as rescue.
Right.
For example, the first thing when a fire happens is you, the person who has seen it, to perform the quickest way of putting it off as you alert the Directorate of Rescue and Fire Services. Now, how many people have fire extinguishers? Because that is the first thing you have to put off a fire. You can go to this garage where the fire was, and believe you me, you may find that there is nothing completely like a fire extinguisher. 2, we have what we call water hydrants. Now, when people were planning this city, before us, this lousy generation came. I'm sorry to say that. Why am I calling it a lousy generation? Because our forefathers who were here before, when they were planning this city, there are what we call water hydrants in the city. That in case there is a fire, the fire truck will come, connect a hose pipe, and then get water. I want to tell you today, and I can challenge anybody, 90% of the water hydrants are built on. There was a time a building around Chiseka caught fire. Now, the firefighters have a map where these water hydrants are. I remember by then it was Afande Andrew Sorowen who was the commander Kampala Metropolitan. Now he tells us, but the water hydrants connect, you know. Every water hydrant nearby was built over. So it became useless because they couldn't connect the hose pipe. How many buildings even have these hose pipes or water hydrants? Yet these are the first that you can do self or in case. Now let's go up to time of reporting.
Right.
Most of the times fire may happen, but the degree of destruction is what we focus on. So how soon do you alert the Directorate of Fire and Rescue Services? Because most of the times it is when people have failed to put out the fire, when it is of that magnitude. Now they will call in what they call fire brigade. Now at that point, there is not so much that the fire brigade can do. Time of reporting. Now when you report, let's look at the response. You see, the challenge is how we construct our roads. And this is also worsened by Ugandans, I call, of this lousy generation. Are you aware, Julie, a person will hear a siren of a fire truck. Even someone will communicate, Banaye mujeye motoka tugenda so omuliro abantu bajja, and someone adamantly doesn't give way. Not aware if these are running to your home. You're obstructing a fire truck, you're not giving right of way. How sure they are going to your mother's place, your home, your friend's home, or your business even?
Right.
But someone adamantly will refuse. Same with the siren of an ambulance. You don't know who they are taking. What if this is your relative? Even if not your relative, what if this is anybody? Think about the life they are running to save. Now, our roads are poor roads. There is so much congestion on our roads. But also how we construct. There are places where fire trucks have come and they can't access the scene of fire. They're impossible. The fire truck cannot get there. That is also another challenge when it comes to rescue. You may call them on time, but they can't access that venue.
Wow, what a picture. But one thing for sure, as we bring this to a close, I'm looking forward to having the Directorate and of Fire and Rescue Services to have clarity of the picture, given that this is what they handle day in, day out. And that is before the 2025 police report is released. Let's bring this conversation to a close, but let's look out for each other. At this point in time, it looks like we are our own safety, even before anyone else. We are the ones to make sure that fire, anything that causes fire, is under control, lest we regret. Now, allow me also inform you that Social Assistance Grant for Employment SAGE activities, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, in partnership with local governments and Centenary Bank, informs the public that residual enrollment of targeted older persons and senior citizens grant payments for existing beneficiaries will start. and started on Monday, yesterday. Luka, Jinja City, Kumi, Bunyangabu, Amuru, Ibanda Municipality, Shemaisi, Njiro, Mpiji, Butambala, Kapchora, Ntungamo Municipality, Chegegwa, Kole, Kabong, Gulu, Serere. And today, Tuesday, will be Bududa, and Thursday, which is 11th September, will be Ibanda Lira City and Arua City. And Wednesday, tomorrow, the 10th of September, will be Terego. And Friday, 12th September, will be Mayuge District.
So that is where they get the 25,000 per month. And it's given to them quarterly, where someone at least has a 70,000.
Oh, 25 times 3. Okay.
So that older people are able to have that money. Someone told me, I don't know how true that was, that she was able to buy a goat from this money.
25,000?
No, 70, because it comes in quarters.
Okay.
Usually they release it quarterly. So
makes sense.
for me, out of this money, I can do something. But at least it helps these elder people. You know, at that age, people are craving for meat, sugar, and all those.
If the quota is 4 months quota, 25,000 makes 100,000. Perhaps it's possible to buy a goat. The Baganda say akatono kaya na kalimu nkwawa. For now, let's head on to JMU Tourism Express. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
The International Criminal Court, or ICC, will hold a confirmation of charges hearing in the case of the prosecutor versus Joseph Kony, scheduled from the 9th to the 11th of September 2025 in The Hague, in the suspect's absence. This is not a trial, but a process for the judges to determine whether there is enough evidence for the case to proceed to trial. Joseph Kony, the alleged leader of the LRA, is suspected of 39 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity allegedly committed between the 1st of July 2002 and the 31st of December 2005 in northern Uganda. The prosecution, the defense, and the lawyers for the victims will deliver oral submissions before the judges to present their arguments on the merits of the case. Proceedings will be broadcast each day live on this channel from September 9th to the 11th, starting at 11 a.m. Kampala time.
My friend Baka was found to be positive for Mpox at his old age. He needs our prayers. By the way, Timo, did you know that Mpox-related deaths occur among people with underlying conditions like HIV/AIDS, diabetes, malnutrition, and other old age-related illnesses?
Of late, I've not been following Mpox issues. I thought it wasn't that serious. So, are you saying that as long as one has any underlying condition and feels unwell, just run to the hospital?
Yes! You do not have to wait. If you have any of the signs and symptoms like a body rash, a fever, headache, and body weakness, visit your nearest health facility immediately. We do not have to take any chances, my brother.
We need to immediately inform our peers in the club to be careful.
You see, with Mpox, the magic is in getting treatment early. Those who have suffered severe disease, they wasted a lot of time either treating themselves or ignoring the disease.
Save your life. Seek treatment early. Only from professional health workers whenever you feel unwell. For more information about Mpox, call the Ministry of Health toll-free line on 0800 1066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health Uganda with support from UNICEF, WHO, and its partners.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4 and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor today. Don't miss this opportunity. Join the challenge, promote road safety and become a pioneer rider. For details, visit the official Good Products website at www.hgo.com or call toll free 0800-335-555 or visit our offices at Kingdom Kampala 3rd floor to register now and win prizes worth millions.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
My name is Bashir Hangi. I'm the head of communications at UWA. Ajai Wildlife Reserve is one of the reserves that we have in the country. It is under Murchison Falls Conservation Area. It is in West Nile, in Madi-Okolo district. It's one of the areas where we've had a rhino population before, but of course, due to a period of instability, most of these rhinos were poached to extinction. So it's an area that we have earmarked for reintroduction of the rhinos. So the 20 rhinos that will leave Ziwa Sanctuary will go to Ajai Wildlife Reserve. We've done a suitability assessment, and our decision to take the rhinos to Ajai is informed by a feasibility study. A feasibility study was undertaken, and it ranked all the areas, the possible areas, including Murchison Falls National Park, including Kidepo Valley National Park, including Gimburo, including Ajai. But Ajai ranked prominent, and that's why we are beginning with Ajai. We have, of course, prepared the reserve, because you can't just take the rhinos and drop them there. We've done habitat manipulation, and to ensure that the rhinos have enough food. We are doing a water reticulation to ensure that the rhinos have enough water. We are putting in place the necessary infrastructure, including building a sanctuary, because you cannot keep the rhinos the way you keep, for example, the elephants. So the security for the rhino is completely different. It requires a lot of manpower.
Now, as Uganda's entertainment calendar flips,
are safe. So we are putting up a number of personnel, specifically in aspects of rhino management. We have also trained personnel in aspects of rhino translocation. A number of our staff the other day were in Kenya, where they participated in 2 translocation exercises. This is in preparation for the translocation, but also the management of the rhinos once they are in the reserve. The other thing that we've done to ensure that the reserve is ready, it had been encroached upon by some members of the communities. So we have since compensated them, and the beauty is that they have not put up any resistance. So the compensation is still ongoing. We have a feeling that by the time we take the rhinos, all of them will be compensated. None of them has a house inside the reserve, but as they are doing some agricultural work inside the reserve, so they are cultivating there, and as such, we are compensating them for all their crops that are inside the reserve. We have also engaged the leaders on the ground. The leaders are so much in support of the rhinos because they know they were a rhino area. Madi-Okolo, their symbol is a symbol of a rhino. So they really have a lot of passion for rhino. The cultural leaders in the region have a lot of passion for the rhinos. So they can't wait to receive the rhinos in Ajai. In short, Ajai is ready, and the rhino translocation team that was put in place is also ready. We'll be updating you. Probably we may have to have an arrangement where media you can go and see the reserve and look at the level of preparedness. You see what we are doing in terms of habitat manipulation. You see what we are planning to do in terms of water reticulation. See the infrastructure that we're putting in place, but also see the security aspects that we are putting in place to ensure that the rhinos will be safe once they land into Ajai.
Thank you so much. And another thing, the accessibility from the roads.
Yeah, of course, Ajai, like any other part of Uganda, is accessible by road through Pakwach, you reach Ajai. Of course, there is work that has to be done on the road to Ajai. But like any other part of the country, the roads may not be in the best condition. But look, before we take the rhinos, the road has to be worked on. Because these rhinos are very sensitive animals, and as such, we may not successfully take them to Ajai before working on the roads. So we are also working with sister agencies. Specifically, we are reaching out to the Ministry of Works to see what can be done to ensure that the road is in a slightly better condition, so that the rhinos can go back home. Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Name a Rhino is the ongoing campaign, and we appreciate the Uganda Tourism Board for always making sure that we get to experience tourism through your screen virtually. That is through GMU Tourism Express. Time for business. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and we are starting off with the government of Uganda that has repaid $200 million to the Exim Bank of China as part of the concessional loan for the expansion of Entebbe International Airport. This marks progress in settling the $325 million loan that was approved by Cabinet and Parliament to modernize Uganda's main gateway. The Director of Airport and Aviation Security, Engineer Soma Ayub, says that the first phase of the project covered the relocation of the cargo terminal, rehabilitation of the runway, and modernization of passenger facilities. Engineer Soma says that there is need to support the growth of the aviation industry and calls upon Parliament to approve their budget so that construction of another terminal for larger aircraft can begin in time for the AFCON 2027 tournament. He told UBC that the Aviation Authority is working on a new master plan and an additional infrastructure for another passenger terminal. Beyond Entebbe, the government is also pushing ahead with the construction of Kabalega International Airport and Jinja Airport to boost connectivity. Now let's move on to Kibuku. Kibuku district leadership has called upon government to empower the district with more ponds to benefit residents. It follows the first fish harvest from the demonstration pond at the hub. During the fish harvest at the presidential hub in Kibuku district, Kibuku district fisheries officer Wandera Joseph Emma said that rice farmers occupying wetlands could adopt fish farming and preserve the wetlands. The first fish harvest at the Bukedi Presidential Hub Pond in Kibuku District has excited the youth and other community members who expressed commitment to preserve wetlands by adopting fish farming. They stocked 10,000 fingerlings in the only pond at the hub and harvested fish worth 14 million Uganda shillings. The Assistant Presidential Hub Manager, Wilfred Odongo, has killed many community members into fish farming following the presidential directive to leave wetlands. Some of the fishmongers explained that the pond has enhanced their businesses. Established in 2022, the Bukedi President Initiative Industrial Hub has ensured compliance towards a presidential directive on wetland restoration. Right, now let's have a look at what we have for the forex rates as of 8th September 2025. The dollar opened at 3,502.82 and was selling at 3,502 3,512.82. By midday, it had dropped to 3,500.68 and was selling at 3,510.68. And it closed in at the same rate of 3,500.68 and selling at 3,510.68. That is at least a little higher than it was by end of last week. That was at 3,331. The British pound was buying at 4,724.86 and selling at 4,738.36. And that's still higher than what was by 5th September. That is at 4,451 buying. Now the euro was buying at 4,100.69 and selling at 4,102.49. And the Kenyan shilling was buying at 27.09 and selling at 27.17. And the Tanzanian shilling was buying at 1.39 and selling at 1.40. And finally, the South African rand was buying at 198.79 and selling at 199.36. Well, that's it for GMU Business. Up next is the agenda. Save the number 0709602592 as we look forward to having a conversation with the Electoral Commission on how to secure a non-violent election. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, Dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondolo. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Hello, Kampala, Uganda. In response to the national call of strengthening the traffic security, Good Products Group HGO brand has officially launched the Rider Selection Campaign. Registration is now open. Visit www.riders.hgo.com. Complete your registration now for a chance to win exciting prizes including motorcycles, exclusive HGO gift boxes, and official rider vests, all while promoting safe riding awareness. This is how to participate. Pay the registration fee, invite 3 friends to form a team of 4, and your registration fee will instantly be refunded. Begin your journey of honor to